Tales and facts of the Roman-Germanic Wars. The Roman-Germanic Wars span a vast period in history, from the early clashes between Julius Caesar and Germanic tribes to the eventual fall of the Western Roman Empire. While historical facts define the progression of these wars, tales, myths, and legends have added layers of meaning and intrigue to the events. The stories of heroic battles, betrayal, and divine intervention are as important as the military strategies and real-world consequences, offering a complex perspective on this turbulent period. Let's explore the facts and tales of the Roman-Germanic Wars, highlighting both historical events and the myths that have grown around them. 1. Julius Caesar's conquests, facts versus myths. Key figures: Julius Caesar, Ariovistus, Suebi, the Helvetii. Outcome: Roman victory. Facts: Caesar's campaigns in Gaul were pivotal in the early Roman-Germanic conflicts. His Commentarii de Bello Gallico provides a detailed account of his encounters with Germanic tribes. Ariovistus, a Germanic king, was defeated by Caesar in the Battle of Vosges, 58 BC, which secured Roman influence over the region. The Helvetii, a Celtic tribe, were defeated in 58 BC as they attempted to migrate through Roman Gaul. Tales: divine favor. Caesar's victories were often portrayed as divinely ordained. In some stories, his army is aided by the gods, ensuring success through omens and supernatural signs. The bridge over the Rhine. In 55 BC, Caesar built a bridge across the Rhine to demonstrate Roman superiority over the mighty Germanic tribes. This act was sometimes exaggerated in tales as a grand feat of engineering that was divinely inspired. 2. The Battle of the Teutoburg Forest, 9 AD. Key figures: Publius Quinctilius Varus, Rome, Arminius, Germania. Outcome: Germanic victory. Facts: the Battle of the Teutoburg Forest is one of the most significant defeats in Roman history. Arminius, a Roman-trained Germanic prince, led an alliance of Germanic tribes to ambush and destroy 3 Roman legions under Varus. Around 20,000 Roman soldiers were killed, and the Roman eagle standards were lost. This defeat halted Roman expansion into Germania and effectively established the Rhine River as the empire's northern border. Tales: the ghost of Varus. According to Roman legend, after the defeat, the ghost of Varus wandered the forest, lamenting the loss of his legions and calling for vengeance. It was said that his spirit haunted Roman commanders, especially those who attempted to recover the lost eagles. Divine intervention. Some Germanic legends tell that the forest spirits guided Arminius and his warriors, blinding the Roman forces with fog and guiding them to victory. The dense forest itself was said to be imbued with divine protection, ensuring the defeat of the invaders. 3. Germanicus campaigns. A tale of revenge. Key figures: Germanicus, Rome, Arminius, Germania. Outcome: mixed results. Facts: after the disaster at Teutoburg, Germanicus was tasked with avenging the Roman defeat. He led a series of campaigns between 14 to 16 AD, successfully recovering 2 of the lost eagles and inflicting heavy casualties on Arminius tribes. Though Germanicus gained some victories, he was unable to decisively defeat Arminius or reconquer the region. Tales: the Avenger's ghost. Roman soldiers believed that the spirits of the fallen soldiers at Teutoburg followed Germanicus, urging him to avenge their deaths. In some versions of the tale, the spirits guided Germanicus' army to victory, ensuring the recovery of the eagles and the restoration of Roman honor. The fateful omen. Germanicus was seen as divinely favored for his leadership, and it was said that omens, such as the appearance of eagles and favorable winds, helped guide him on his campaigns. 4. The Battle of Adrianople, 378 AD, a tragic turning point. Key figures: Emperor Valens, Rome, Fritigern, Visigoths. Outcome: Visigothic victory. Facts: in 378 AD, the Visigoths, under Fritigern, defeated the Roman legions of Emperor Valens at the Battle of Adrianople. The Roman forces, despite their numerical superiority, were crushed by the Visigoths. Emperor Valens himself was killed, and the defeat marked a significant weakening of Roman authority in the Balkans. Tales: divine wrath. Some Roman sources told of Valens' refusal to wait for reinforcements before engaging the Visigoths, suggesting that the gods punished his arrogance. It was said that Valens' rashness brought about the Roman god Mars' curse, leading to the disastrous defeat. The Eternal Goth. In Germanic folklore, the Visigoths were portrayed as chosen by the gods to avenge the wrongs of Rome, and their victory at Adrianople was seen as a divine triumph. In some versions, the spirits of fallen Gothic warriors were said to guide their army to victory. 5. The sack of Rome 410 AD by the Visigoths. Key figures: Alaric I, Visigoths, Honorius, Rome. Outcome: Visigothic victory. Facts: the Visigoths under Alaric I sacked Rome in 410 AD after years of failed negotiations with the Roman government. This event shocked the Roman world, as it was the first time in over 800 years that Rome had been sacked by a foreign army. The Visigoths looted the city for 3 days, taking treasures and sparing religious sites but looting the homes and palaces of the aristocracy. Tales: the Tears of Rome. The Visigoths were said to have wept after sacking the city, for they were once Roman allies and felt the weight of destroying the capital of the once great empire. However, many sources argue that Alaric and his warriors were driven more by desperation and need than by sorrow, as they had been denied recognition and land in the empire. The wrath of the gods. Roman writers viewed the sack as a sign of divine anger, and some tales describe Roman gods abandoning the city, with the gods turning their backs on a once sacred place. The sack of Rome was seen by some as a punishment for the empire's decadence and abandonment of its ancestral virtues. 6. The last stand of the Western Roman Empire, 476 AD. Key figures: Romulus Augustulus, Rome. Odoacer, Germanic leader. Outcome: end of the Western Roman Empire. Facts: the last Roman emperor in the West, Romulus Augustulus, was deposed by Odoacer, a Germanic chieftain, in 476 AD. Odoacer declared himself king of Italy and sent the imperial regalia to the Eastern Roman emperor, effectively ending Roman rule in the West. The event marked the formal collapse of the Western Roman Empire and the beginning of the medieval period in Europe. Tales: the fall of the Eternal City. Roman historians told of the last days of the empire, when Rome's streets were filled with beggars and soldiers turned mercenaries. It was said that Romulus Augustulus wept as he abdicated his throne, though some later tales portrayed him as a young figure too powerless to save the empire. The end of Rome's legacy. In many medieval stories, the fall of Rome was seen as the beginning of a new age. However, some later Christian writers presented the fall of Rome as a divine punishment for the empire's immorality and abandonment of Christianity, framing the Germanic invaders as instruments of God's judgment. 7. The legacy of the Germanic tribes. The Germanic tribes that fought against Rome were initially seen as barbaric invaders. However, as they began to settle within Roman territories and adopt Roman customs, their legacy intertwined with that of Rome. 7. The legacy of the Germanic tribes. The Germanic tribes that fought against Rome were initially seen as barbaric invaders. However, as they began to settle within Roman territories and adopt Roman customs, their legacy intertwined with that of Rome. Fact: the Germanic tribes, including the Visigoths, Ostrogoths, and Franks, gradually formed kingdoms that inherited Roman law, Christianity, and some aspects of Roman culture. Over time, they built kingdoms that would evolve into the European states we know today. Tales. In later medieval legends, Germanic kings like Clovis I and Theodoric the Great were often portrayed as semi-divine rulers, the bearers of Roman tradition in a new age. The stories of Charlemagne and the Holy Roman Empire also reflected the fusion of Roman and Germanic identities, as the Germanic tribes became the heirs to Rome's mantle. Conclusion: myths, legends, and the enduring Roman-Germanic legacy. The Roman-Germanic wars were filled with tales of triumph, tragedy. Banda NOI. Tip: ChatGPT to NOI. ChatGPT. The Roman-Germanic wars were filled with tales of triumph, tragedy, and betrayal, and the myths surrounding these events continued to shape the historical and cultural memory of both Rome and the Germanic tribes for centuries. While the historical facts illustrate the brutality and challenges of these wars, The legends of warriors, gods, and divine interventions help define the spiritual and emotional legacy of these conflicts. The tales of heroes like Arminius and the fall of Rome were used to shape national identities, especially during the Germanic Renaissance and in the medieval period, where the legacy of the Roman Empire was revered, but also reinterpreted through the lens of Germanic victories and cultural integration. These stories, whether factual or mythical, emphasize themes of survival, cultural transformation, and the clash of civilizations, an eternal struggle between the old order of Roman power and the fierce, independent nature of the Germanic tribes. These wars marked the end of one era and the beginning of another, an era where Germanic kingdoms would eventually become the bedrock of medieval Europe, carrying the torch of Roman civilization into the future. Would you like to explore more specific elements of these tales, like the divine interpretations of key events, or the role of Christianity in shaping these narratives? Or perhaps you'd like a deeper look into a particular battle or legendary figure?